Right. Let's see. Are we live? That's the question. All right. Hey, how are you? You're here. You're here right on time. Hey, Jill. How you doing? Let's see, guys. All right. I tested this out earlier. Let's make sure. All right. Hey, Norma. How you doing? Let's see. That's how you do it. Okay, so check it out, guys. Look at that. Look who's got the comments up today. Let's see. How you doing? All right, let's see. Norma, Nydia. Am I saying that right? Is it Nydia? All right. Well, listen, you guys are here, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Um, so, what we're going to work on today, I have notes all over the place, so I just want to make sure I'm on task. We are going to set intentions today, and we're going to work on setting up goals. And we're going to use the SMART format. Um, so, let's see. First of all, for anyone that may be new, my name is Taisha. I have been on Zepbound for 39 weeks and I feel like I've been very successful. And so, what I want to do is kind of share the things that I've been working on so that you can be successful as well. Let's see. I'm fancy now. Ah, hey, Nia. Let's see. I'm a little slow with this, but watch. As the weeks progress, it's going to get better. How you doing, Leo? All right. So what we're going to talk about, you guys know who I am. I've been on for 39 weeks. And first we're going to start with setting intentions. So what I want to do is I want to give you guys give me a moment, some facts that, I have that page up too. Okay. So we're going to figure out target behaviors and I don't know why I'm nervous. Like I haven't been in front of you guys before, but all right. So let's see. Let me go to the. All right. So what we're going to do, and I've said that 15 times. Okay. So intentions, they're the foundation of everything that you're going to do. So instead of saying things like, I want to be healthier, try to be more specific, like, I want to walk for 20 minutes a day, or, whatever it is that you want to do, we want to be specific and not make these broad generalizations. So the SMART framework, the S stands for, let's go here. The S stands for specific. So that's where we're going to go into exactly what we want to do. So for me, I'll give you an example. I'm going to be doing the compound. I work out usually later at night, but doing that 6 days a week. That's specific. And if I were being just general, it'd be like, well, I'm going to work out every day. Well, that's not really specific. And it's very easy when we don't feel like doing things to kind of get off track because we haven't laid everything out, the groundwork. So the next thing is making sure, we're not, oh, wrong one. Measurable, right? How will you track your progress? So this could be something as simple as logging your steps, tracking your meals, or even journaling how you feel. So for me, I put everything on Instagram. I post my workouts there, and I also post my meals so that I can visually see what I'm doing and I can show you guys what I'm doing. And that is my form of journaling. I do it through picture. Let me see, make sure I'm. And then also, what I want you guys to do is if you have a question, put a Q in front of it so that I know that it's a question and it's not just everybody talking among themselves. All right, so next, we want to make sure, let's go to the next one. Achievable. Is this goal realistic for where you are right now? So, not to pick on anybody, hopefully it's okay. Jill, like, for example, when you were doing the 75 hard, and I'm trying to remember how much water you initially said, but it'd be like someone who barely drinks saying, I'm going to drink a gallon of water a day. That's not realistic. I mean, it's possible, but it's not realistic and it would be more difficult. So you want things to be somewhat challenging, but right now we're in the crawling stage. We don't want to make it too hard. So when things get overwhelming, we won't want to continue. You also want to make sure it's relevant. So why is this goal important to you? Does it align with your why and your bigger picture? So if my goal is to lose weight, I'm trying to think of a good example. I'll come back to that. We're going to make sure they're time bound, right? We want to, when do you want to achieve your goal? So I believe that Downsizing Diva has a goal of a certain amount of weight loss by Thanksgiving. That is time bound. She has given herself, this is the date that I want to have this. Now, for the most part, those can be good, but if you don't make your goal realistic, then you're just setting yourself up for failure. And it's okay. I will talk about my experiences in the past as far as having a goal of wanting to get down to a desired weight. Didn't have a suspense date. Sometimes it was by a vacation or by my birthday or by New Year's. Like, they weren't things that, they just weren't realistic. They weren't, the things that I wanted were not realistic. And I was trying to do too many things. So make sure that you give yourself a deadline. So set small goals and have a deadline. And then, let's see. I want to know, do you guys have a why? So I'm going to go over to the comments just to see. Oh, we got Texas. Let's see. Let me catch up on the comments. I'll get here. West. Let's see. Let's just add it. And actually, we'll go back to this screen. All right. Good evening. Good evening. Oh, you're in Chicago. Let's see. I'm going to just add some of these comments so everyone can see. You know, I love you guys too. Let's see. And everybody's just saying hello. Okay. Yes, I do feel like you guys are my friends. Norma. Thank you, Elaine. West Texas. Littlefield, Texas. How far is that from San Antonio? That's the only part of Texas I've ever lived in. Let's see. Facts. I said I would drink 80 ounces because I knew I couldn't drink a gallon. Ah, okay. But 80 ounces is still a lot. It's still a lot. Only if you're not used to drinking a bunch of fluids. You know what I mean? Um, my why, to be here for my son. Okay. That's a good one. Kids can be family, kids, things like that can definitely be a great motivator. Hey, downsizing diva. Hey everyone, my why is my daughter and self-love. Okay. That and taking care of yourself is probably the highest form of self-love, right? We do everything and this is nothing against people who aren't moms because everybody has their own driving factor. But as a mom, a lot of times we tend to put everyone else before our own needs and we kind of get, thrown to the wayside. So, we have to make sure that we're taken care of. And it's kind of like what they say on the airplane with the oxygen mask. You get yourself squared away first and then you take care of, someone else that needs the help. You know what I mean? But that's a good why. Let's see. 2.0 mommy. I have a lot. Okay. I want to hear them. What's your if you had to pick one, what would that be, Jill? Nadia. My why, be healthy for my kids. See? It's that mom thing, we keep it focused on the kids. Let's see. Downsizing diva. I set that goal and thought, what was I thinking? On the positive side, it has made me step it up. I think you're doing great. And it doesn't seem unrealistic. It's not like you're trying to lose 5 or 10 pounds a week. Now, if someone has that goal, who am I to tell someone, that's not good? I just feel like it's not the best. It's not the best. And I think it would be difficult to maintain. Because as far as I know, you can't lose 10 pounds of fat in 1 week. So if you're just concerned with the number on the scale and not necessarily your body composition, then I guess those kind of, super lofty goals will work. Let's see, Elaine. My why, to be able to focus on my long-term health. After you're a half a century old, you start thinking about these things. Yeah, yeah, there's a part of me that I didn't really struggle with these things in my 20s. Habits, yeah, but like weight wasn't an issue. And I just kind of wish in my 30s I had been, that all led me to being here right now. It's okay. 6.5 hours from San Antonio. That's far. Let's see. Diana, hopefully I said that correctly. My why is to get down to a healthy weight for my height. Okay, so what is your current height and what's your goal weight? Norma, I had to learn to give myself some self-love. I'm with you. I'm with you. That is definitely important. And it's not even about, I think some people think that self-love and self-care has to do with, going out and spending all this money to do things. And really, I do believe the highest form of self-care is taking care of yourself, taking care of your health, getting good nutrition, movement, things like that. Highest form of self-care. We have some Hayes. Let's see. Leo Hazel. My why is keeping my hormones balanced after menopause and the weight down. Man, okay. So menopause, right? I Downsizing Diva had a live earlier this week or over the weekend about perimenopause, and she went through a whole list of things, and I was like, oh my goodness, that's probably what's going on with me, especially that memory. um, Okay, so have you been going and getting that stuff tested, like your hormone levels, and are you on any kind of regimen for that? Be around for my kids and grandkids. Same, and I got a grandkid on the way, so I have things to look forward to. Norma, my why to lose med. To lose med. Does that mean like you're on some medications that you want to get rid of? Tell Size and Diva, your background is everything. So zen, it looks great on the big TV. Thank you, thank you. This is my zen spot, and if you see it with all the lights on, it's not the same. Yes, you did tell me the same thing. All meds, okay, valid. That's valid. I don't want to be on a lot of meds either, and right now I'm currently only on Zepbound, and I'm thankful for that. No more heartburn medication, nothing for fibromyalgia. You know, there's a list of things. I won't bore you with it, but that's a good goal. That's a valid goal. Diana, I'm only 5'1" and I'm trying to get down to at least 150 and then I'll reevaluate. My current weight is 174, but I'm at a stall. Ah, okay. So I'll just tell you what I probably say this every week as well. You have to have something in addition to the scale to kind of to go by, because you can have weeks of non-movement on the scale and your body composition could be changing. And I'll mention again that I had DEXA scans 7 weeks apart, so the last one and the previous one, and even though the number stayed the same, I gained 2.4 pounds of muscle and I lost 2.5 pounds of fat. So there's just a variety of things. And if you know that you're doing all the right things, you're eating the way you're supposed to, being in a caloric deficit, but not too much of one, and doing some movement, just keep doing that. If you've been doing it, continue. And before you know it, there'll be a change. I think a lot of people notice like if they just kind of press through, they'll see some change. But what we do is we look to the scale to tell us how we're doing when we know how we're doing. You know what I mean? Don't try not to be a slave to the scale. And I think that that's a good goal. You know what I mean? It's nothing like I want to be 110 pounds in a month. You know what I mean? So you got this. You got this. And if you need to make some modifications, like if you really feel like, okay, I have been doing all the right things, then you may need to make a modification if you feel like there's still no change. Because you want to do things and seeing some type of change, whether it's the way your clothes fit, measurements, DEXA scan, InBody scan, the scales that you can have at home that kind of tell you your composition, those things are motivating when we see change. So you have to find something else in addition to the scale to help you with that. I just realized I don't have this mic turned on. How's the sound today, guys? Perimenopause is no joke. It explains a lot. You know what? I agree with you. Men should have to study that list. For sure. Norma. My meds, blood pressure, and cholesterol. Okay. Now, since you've started, have they decreased any of those things for you? Because that's something, that's a way that you could track progress along the way, right? Even if you don't get off immediately, have they decreased your meds? Because then you're kind of headed in that right direction. And I know that losing weight can definitely help with with being able to get off of those meds, or at least cut down on them. You already. My last two blood works results. My cholesterol is awesome, and my A1C is now 5. You know what? That in itself is a reason to celebrate. Like, that's progress. You know what I mean? That is progress. And congratulations. Tell you that whole food plant-based eating is where it's at. Good sound? Okay, thank you. Sounds good? Okay. Thank you, guys. Leo Hazel. All right, let's see. I'm not really for taking meds. I'm only on Zepbound. I'm with you. Let's see. My OBGYN looked at my labs and thought this would be a good option for me. I was working out like a madwoman and the scale was barely moving. So it's moving now, right? And I don't blame you. I'm not really big on taking a lot of meds either. I'm not even the person who, if I have a headache, I'm running to take a Tylenol, right? It has to be unbearable for me to take, like a pain med or something like that. And they're usually non-narcotics. My cholesterol pill. Okay. That's good. That's good. Let's see. Diana. My main problem is not eating enough calories to stay in my calorie deficit. I can only eat about 1,100 calories per day. But you know what? I remember this comment. Okay. But I do meet my protein goals each day. I also walk and lift weights. All right. So what should you're saying you're not getting enough calories. What should your calories be? Do you know what that is? Like what that number should be? Because it's different for all of us. And a lot of that is based on activity level and stuff like that. And I know how hard it is because since I've been on this medication, I have not had the desire to eat. So usually when I fix my food, I can sit down and I'm able to eat it. As long as I have my portion sizes within reason. Within reason. There have been some times where I was just like, and this was months ago, where I was just like, okay, I don't have to finish this. So if I start feeling like it's not necessarily uncomfortable, but just like, okay, I don't want any more. I understand that feeling. So just eat what you can. Just eat what you can. And the fact that you're getting your protein in, that's really good. And making sure you stay hydrated. That's another important thing. Hey, Chrissy. And we got some more. Hey, Chrissy's. Hey, Tia. Yes, indeed. The scale is moving and now I only work out 4 days a week instead of 6. Isn't that nice? That whole less is more, right? We just needed the right combination. So that's really good. Chrissy. I gave the shot in my thigh last week and had zero appetite suppression and I didn't lose. I went back to the stomach and it's working. I'm team stomach and it's not I'm not anti anything. I'm just team stomach. And I told you guys, if I get to where like, man, food noise is coming back or I don't have any suppression, I'll venture out then. Let's see. Chrissy, I know Taisha only does the stomach. Anyone else? Please don't forget to like. Thank you, Chrissy. Diana. According to the TDEE, my calorie deficit, I should be around 1,300. I can't reach it, but I'm trying. Oops, I didn't add that. Let's see. Is everybody here familiar with the TDEE? And I'm going to pull that up over here just in case. All right. So I'm going to add a link for you guys. Okay. I'm going to add a link for the TDEE calculator for anyone that is not familiar with it. So that way, what it has you do, so what it says on the main screen, let me see if I can pull this up. You know what, we're not going to chance that today. If you guys could go to the link, we can talk about this next week. We can talk about the TDEE calculator. What I would like for you guys to do is to go to that calculator tonight and then put your information in, and then I'm going to do a community post about it, and you guys could post what it says you should be eating, your calorie goal. I think that'd be a fun way to kind of see where you are. I got my calories based off of what came up in Lose It. When I had the DEXA scan done, the person that read the report told me to build muscle. So for me, maintenance should be 1900 and some change. It's taking everything in me to get to where I am now. So it's just a slow process, right? 2200 is what I should be eating to build muscle. There's no way that I can do that right now. Now, over time, I could potentially work up to that, but I just don't want to get into this habit of making myself eat too much. Hopefully, you guys, hopefully that's relatable. I just don't want to go back to how I was eating before. Let's see. Yes, TDEE was recommended by another YouTuber. Okay, that's good. That's good. Norma, I give my injections on the stomach and I have to look away. I hate needles. And then frogs? I am not, even with all the tattoos, I'm not a fan of needles either, but I don't feel it. And there's some times where I'm just like, okay, did this go in? But you can see if there's, especially if there's like a little dab of blood, or the times where it has just a little bit of the medication that kind of comes back out. And I know it's working. I'm just letting you know that I really don't feel it. Nerd startup. So my provider advised me not to count calories. Then do not go to TDEE. Counting. You know, I think the way that I do it doesn't give me stress. This is the most consistent I've ever been with counting calories. And I don't do it like, okay, I've got to have 1800 calories. So this meal needs to be this. I had already been weighing out my food, and that was just to kind of get an idea of, okay, you have been sustained with 72 grams of peanut butter powder and 140 grams of blueberries. So if I ate that and then felt like, if I got to where, things started changing and I wanted more, I would know, like, no, 72 grams of peanut butter powder and 140 grams of blueberries, that has been fine for you. So originally, that's why I was weighing everything, even though I wasn't translating it to calories. I started doing that when people were asking me. If no one had ever asked, I wouldn't be doing it. I'm just fine with, weighing the things out and at least knowing, okay, okay, for corn, for example, 1 gram per calorie. So if I have 90 grams of corn, that's 90 calories. So you just get to know things like that. Um, but yeah, I can imagine that would be a blessing. I was fine with just taking pictures, putting it in there, and keeping it moving. But again, the whole reason I'm here is I want to be able to help however I can. And if that was helpful for people, then, of course I want to do it. Now, if y'all get to like where everyone's just like, you don't need to do that, then I'll just go back to just taking pictures. But yeah, calorie counting can be really stressful for some people. And if you're that kind of person, um, then don't worry about doing the TDEE. Chrissy's giving you guys some advice there. When you go to the link after adding your information, scroll down. And it says, here we go. It tells you how much you need to lose weight. And I skipped one, didn't I? Nope, it tells you how much you need to cut to lose weight. The basic setting is maintenance. And if you're in maintenance and you don't have an aversion to um, at least tracking calories, not necessarily, again, if it's something that's going to stress you or if it's too much to add to your plate, then don't do it. It's just not worth it. Nerd Startup. I did have my BMR measured by the same place I got my last DEXA. Mine is like 13 something. It's kind of low. Um, and I think as I build more muscle, maybe that'll go up some. So if you guys are in an area where you can get a DEXA scan, that's also some good knowledge. Because the way that I understood it is you should not go lower than your BMR. Let me see, give me a second. And the BMR is basal metabolic rate. So I'm going to read this to you. The basal metabolic rate is the amount of energy needed while resting at a temperate environment when the digestive system is inactive. So the way it was explained to me is if I was in a coma, these are the calories that my body would burn. So if I was going to 1100, and I'm not trying to use, I'll pick a different number. If I was going to do like 800 calories a day, that would be way too low. And my body to survive really needs 13, I think it's 1364. Leo Hazel. According to TDEE, I should be eating 2233, but I'm nowhere near this and I'm okay with that. I wonder if that's what she used to calculate something like that, to calculate what I should be eating to gain muscle, to build muscle. Because she was saying 2200 and I was like, yeah, that's not going to happen. So I don't blame you. And it's working, right? Where I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder, and I don't think you're trying to be a bodybuilder. So I think we're doing good. And ultimately, you got to listen to your body. Elaine. My TDEE says 2280. Now, are you guys looking at that to build muscle, or is that maintenance, or is that weight loss? Because there's different things that you put in. Okay, Chrissy said that's maintenance. Nia said, MyFitnessPal says 1290. TDEE says 1310. My doctor says 1300 to 1500. So, yeah, that's a pretty, at least with MyFitnessPal and TDEE, that's pretty close. It's about 20 calorie difference. So that's pretty good. So it looks like your doctor's is on point. No, Norma, you hate frogs. No. Elaine. Oh, I was getting ready to say Norma. Okay, because I definitely stay under 1800. Okay. And you know what? I think these also take into account your current weight, your height, like all these different factors, your age. Because I would imagine that a woman that's 22 years old and 5'7" wouldn't have the same um, macros and things as me. And then someone who's sedentary would have a different calorie goal than someone who is constantly on the go. If you have a job where you're on your feet all the time, things like that. So it's not always just exercise, movement in general, you know. I like having my Apple Watch because I can go, I don't track steps and things like that. But if you guys, I think someone was talking about doing a walking challenge or something like that. I don't remember who. If you guys remember who, let me know. And if that's still going on, I'd love to join that. Oh, look, we lost the light. Let's see. I'm sorry. Scroll down to cut. Yep. Let's see. 2.0 mommy. I just did the calculator and it recommended what? 1,179 calories, which is definitely too low. That is very low. That's very low. Um, hmm. Kim Cope. Hi, Kim. Subtract 500 from your maintenance calories, and this will give you your calorie deficit. So I hope you guys got that. That seems like a good idea because we're not really supposed to go super low. It's not good for you. So whatever your maintenance says, subtract 500 from that. Thank you, Kim. Diana. Yeah, it's too stressful for me. I just try to reach my protein goals. You know what? Control what you can. Control what you can. I didn't realize it was stressful until I tried stopping. I was stressed from not counting at first. That's how I felt when we went out of town for the wedding. Because I mean, you guys can see it's the same stuff all the time. I weigh it, you know, I couldn't do any of that. I had no idea. And, some places, some restaurants will have the calories. Like, I think even fast food places have calories on the menu. But the place that I was going to did not have that. But the food was delicious, and I felt like, okay, this is only 4 or 5 days. I'll be okay. But it was something that gave me quite a bit of anxiety. And now I'm comfortable, with, if we take trips in the future, I don't mind flying because when you drive, I can pack my rice cooker, my air fryer, things like that. Can't really, or I wasn't trying to do that to fly out of town. So I can relate. I feel like I am with friends. I really can't discuss this with anyone else. I know that my husband has to be tired of hearing these things. But he does, like, when he sees things on YouTube about GLP-1s and stuff, he'll share it with me and he'll actually watch it with me. The one that I posted on the community tab last week, he had sent it to me and I came downstairs and he was watching it. So I'm sorry, I saw the light flashing and I was like, oh, okay. So I feel like that too. I feel like this is the place that I can talk about this without worrying about someone like, oh my God, yes, okay, we get it. Let's see. It was recommended to click on sedentary. Okay. I'm going to put my stuff in there too, but I don't want to just have this awkward silence while I'm trying to type that stuff in. So I'll post it after the live. Um, I do mentally track my macros, my fiber, and water. Yeah, as long as you're keeping track of it in some kind of way, you'll know when things change. So if you're used to having, let's see, I'm used to drinking a gallon of water a day. When I did not get that in, the first day we flew out, I didn't feel, I wasn't sick or anything. I just felt kind of off, mentally foggy. I also didn't eat as much that day as I normally would. Even though I couldn't track it, I still knew that I didn't get in the amount of calories that I normally get in. And so, for those of you who notice that you feel really tired, make sure you're getting enough fluids and make sure you're eating enough. And if you can't make yourself eat, then you're going to have to find another way to maybe supplement with, like, I don't want to tell you what to supplement with because I don't take any, but I know that people do protein shakes. I feel like those bars and stuff, a lot of them have a lot of sugar and things like that. If you could find something that's fairly clean, that may be better for you. Maybe, some peanuts. Yeah, it's going to have fat, but it's got some protein. If they're salted, kind of gives you that, as well, getting some salt in there instead of feeling like you have to take electrolytes. Now, if you have to take them, like I'm learning more and more about them, as far as from you guys, actually, muscle spasms, things like that, those kind of signs that you need to have some more balance, then you do that. And talk to your doctors. Because as we know, I am not a doctor. Let's see. 2.0 mommy, that's how I do it too. Yeah, yeah. Uh, I think maybe after the new year, I will just take pictures and put them in both places. And then if someone is interested in calories or whatever, they can go back because there's this long history. You know what I mean? There's a long history of showing those things. Let's see. I'm not completely convinced that these calculations aligns perfectly to a person with metabolic disorder. My BMR was not what was estimated by the calculators. So if you guys are noticing things are like super off and they're not pertinent to you and your situation, then your doctors, I believe your doctors should be able to do that for you. Or if you could see a dietitian or a nutritionist. Um, oh, I didn't tell you guys. I'm actually going to see a provider in person tomorrow, and it's at Parkview Weight Management. And I'm excited about that because then I can get plugged in with a nutritionist and a dietitian, and I'm looking forward to that. Because I know I can still do things, better. And this is why I make it a point not to tell you guys, oh, this is what you should be eating. You should do this combination. When you guys ask me things like, or I've been asked how many calories should I be eating, I can't tell you that because I legitimately don't know. Um, it seems like a lot of these food calculators are pretty good or pretty close with that. So we'll see. We'll see. I'll let you know what my provider says tomorrow. Let's see. Jill, I prefer it, but I'm not afraid to count if I'm not losing for a month or two. Yeah, whatever is the least stressful thing that doesn't derail you. You know what I mean? You just I say one day at a time, one meal at a time, one moment at a time. And TDEE, even though I work out 5 times a week, I put sedentary. Should I put moderate activity? When you work out, how long are your workouts typically? Do you feel like you're uh, expending a lot of energy when you're working out? Another, well, I calculated my calories with this. This is a couple of years ago. It's called If It Fits Your Macros. And I won't get into that program, but they have a calculator on there. And it's probably along the same lines of this. So you guys may want to reach out to your providers. And I know I keep directing you there, but they should be able to give you that information. Yeah, I actually have to rely on protein shakes, not really bars. Yeah, I feel like if you're not able to eat what you need, then you supplement, and there's nothing wrong with that. I also need to backtrack a statement I made before about people not needing anything. I When you go to those uh, what are they, health spas, weight loss places, their goal, is to sell you as much stuff as possible. So if you're already on, a GLP-1, I don't know if you really need to be getting all these extra injections that they have you getting. And I just feel like I think you can do it without that. And I think that you guys should try it without that before you go and start buying this product, that product. This Try it with just taking the medicine and making the necessary changes. And then when you get to a point where you're just like, okay, I'm not having any movement, I've exhausted everything that I can. Then if you want to try to add those things in, then go ahead. But save your money. Save your money. We got to get out of the mindset of trying to get there as soon as possible. Take your time. Take your body. This is a human body. This is not. We have a microwave society, and we have to get out of that. And I was like that too. So this is not some big revelation. I was the same way. I wasn't this time, and I think that getting that DEXA scan done early on and seeing how much muscle I lost, I was no longer like fascinated by the scale. You know what I mean? The scale was moving, so in my mind, everything was going great. It wasn't. It wasn't. It was going quickly at the beginning, um, and I lost a lot of muscle. Let's see. Me too, Diana. I think whey is breaking me out. My nutritionist recommended organic plant-based protein shake powder. Any particular brand, or did they just give you organic? Because maybe someone else has that, and there are people with dairy intolerances and things like that. So maybe that would help some other people too that feel like, that are struggling to get in enough food. At least you're getting that. And sometimes it's easier to drink stuff than it is to physically eat. 2.0 mommy. I believe on TDEE they subtract 500 from your maintenance. My maintenance is 1679. Oh, 1179. I think that's really low. Um, Man, I can't wait to like enter my stuff in there and see what it says, but I think that you have been losing weight and you're doing a great job. Whatever you've been doing, just keep that going, cuz I do think that 1179 is too low. I was always told to use sedentary on TDEE. My dietitian has me at 1410, knowing I work out 6 to 7 days a week, and that is okay, and that is where TDEE has me on sedentary. Okay, so are you guys suggesting that when we use this calculator to do sedentary and maintenance? I think that's what I'm gathering. So I want to make sure that I'm doing the same format you guys are doing. When I click on moderate exercise, it brings it up to 1600, which is closer to what I try to get. Okay. And I think that's a good goal for, I think when I first started my journey, I was just maybe 1400 calories. And then after the whole finding out that I lost a lot of muscle, I tried to stay between 14 to 1600 calories, leaning more towards 16, but over time it was me just adding a little bit more. So um, I think there was a time where I was just doing 48 grams of peanut butter powder, and now I'm up to 72. So just over time, like slowly building up instead of trying to do too much at one time. Because I believe that overeating in a sitting can also cause a lot of GI distress and problems with nausea and things like that. At least that's what I read. Tia says, I didn't tell her I checked TDEE. Nerd Startup. I asked ChatGPT to tell me based on my height and weight what would make the sedentary versus moderate activity. Okay. I enjoyed it and it gave me a whole schedule. That man, ChatGPT. I need to utilize that more. Diana, yes, Nia, I use a plant-based protein powder. Orgain, okay, I've heard of that. I also use Premier protein shakes too. How do those taste? Do you have to add like stuff to it, or do you just, is it something that you mix with water, you mix with milk, it's already made? Like, how do you take that in? I wanted to ask. I got you. Let's see. Leo, I agree. Slow and steady wins the race. Yes, and I used to look at that phrase as a gimmick, but that it's true. It's we were taught that, right? Through the tortoise and the hare when we were younger, that little story. That that's valid. That's valid, you know. Slow and steady, just keep going. Because when you do too much, then you have to rest. And then you do too much again, you have to rest. But that person that stayed slow and steady, they're going to keep progressing, you know? And it's okay to pause. Just don't stop. Let's see. ChatGPT is my personal assistant. My mom calls ChatGPT her personal assistant too. Let's see. I tried Vega and Orgain protein powder. They are vegan. Do you like the taste of them? Yes, Jill. Thank you. I think that's for T. I will continue sedentary. My doctor advised me to work out and gave me at least 1300. Sedentary and cut. Okay. Sedentary and cut is what I need to put in? Okay. She said that brand too, and OWYN. Now, is that an acronym or is that like the brand? OWYN. For me, I like light to moderate exercise because it brings the calories up a little bit. Just my preference. That's good. Because we just want to make sure we're getting enough. And how many of you, well, that actually keep track of your calories? Do you eat your calories back? So whatever I do from a workout, I don't try to eat that back. It's just kind of like I got to find a different phrase other than icing on the cake. But when I work out, that's just a workout. I still eat the same way and I don't add extra to supplement that. So just curious how many, if you do count that or keep track of it. Now I used to, if I would, well, I was eating way over, but if I burned, let's say I went to a Zumba class and I burned 500 calories, I would be like, oh, I get to eat extra 500 calories. Even though I was already eating more than I needed to be eating, I was looking at it as, oh, I can have more. So just wondering if anyone else, yes. Yes, I may be going too slow. Yes, you eat the calories back? Or was this about something else? Downsizing divas, slow and steady wins the race, just don't quit. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, this is even more intense than a marathon, I would say. I can only drink it mixed with milk, but I think the pre-made drinks are way better. Okay. I haven't tried it, but I'm cheap and I only buy the powder. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. If you can save money, I'm all about saving money if you can. Premier is ready made and it tastes good. I get the chocolate ones. With Orgain, you have to mix it with liquid. I use water and put collagen. Oh, you know what? That's a good question. Okay, so why do you guys add collagen? Like, I mean, I know I could look it up, but you guys, since you do that, I'd be curious to know, like, does that help with like skin, hair, or something like that? I love Fairlife protein shakes, but they are pricey. I've heard of those. Actually, all the things except for the one that was the acronym, I've heard of all of those. So when you say pricey, is it like what is it in comparison to other stuff? So is it like if you had a, I don't know, how do they come? 10 packs? If you had a 10 pack, is that like $20 where there's another brand where the 10 pack is $10? Like, what do you mean? Uh, like, how expensive is expensive? I like the chocolate ones. I typically add chocolate collagen. I'm not vegan for more chocolate flavor. Yeah, I used to be a big chocolate eater myself. Okay, so is it Owen? Owen is the brand? Owen? Yes, Owen. Ah, only what you, oh, so it is an acronym. Okay, only what you need. Okay, so that makes me think that they don't have like a bunch of extra like it's a pretty clean. Is it a pretty clean type of protein shake? Jerry's Journey. Taisha, I am 58 years old and get my Zepbound from the VA. Only on week 3, but not seeing too much weight loss. I am plant-based for the past year, but have issues meeting my protein requirements. Ah, well, congratulations and welcome. Uh, and that's great that you were able to get it through the VA. My VA was giving me, well, they're definitely not going to give it to me now, but they really tried to have me jumping through hoops, even going through the MOVE program. So I went ahead and got it on the outside. But as far as protein, if you eat tofu, tofu is a good way. I didn't used to like tofu, but I think that I figured out it's all about how you prefer it. So I don't like it to be the mushy texture, so I get the super firm. And I don't have to put it in the freezer and thaw it or anything. I can use it right out the package, and that's a good way of getting in some extra protein. Chickpeas actually has a pretty good amount of protein. You'd be amazed at beans. Beans have a good amount of protein per serving also. And I would try, if you're not against trying the peanut butter, if you're not allergic to peanuts, or if you enjoy peanut butter, the peanut butter powder would also be a good way. That's actually, if you guys see how much of that I eat regularly, that helps me, because if I had to try to get it in other ways, it would be a struggle. So I think maybe that peanut butter powder mixture with the blueberries is equivalent to maybe one of your protein drinks. So Jerry, try, and it says Jerry's Journey. Are you also creating content and sharing your journey? Um, but try those things. Try those things and see, you know, if that helps. Nerd Startup. I am currently only taking Fairlife, like Downsized Diva. They are lactose free. Nice, nice. So then I can recommend that to one of my daughters, because I have to lecture them sometimes on eating enough, which is not really lecture, but just explaining how important it is to make sure that you're eating enough food. Um, Kids and social media and all the unrealistic things on there, it's not doing the best things for our kids. And I wasn't always setting the best example. So I feel like them watching me do it this way, even though they know I'm on a medication, they see I'm consistent. I work out, well, now it'll be Monday through Saturday again, and it's doable. They're manageable. They'll come up and be like, "Oh, your workout's done already?" Yeah, we're not in here for hours. Yeah, a little off topic there. Sorry, guys. Um, 2.0 mommy. Yeah, I definitely don't eat my burned calories back. I worked hard for that. Absolutely, right? I do not try to eat back. I'm just trying to eat enough. That's understandable. Like it's already taking everything to get in what I get in, so to try to add more would be too much. I feel like we do have a lot. We have a lot in common in that. Man, I was in the I'll eat my way overly estimated workout calories boat, wondering why I was gaining. Same. I have a video that I'll show you guys. Maybe I'll put it in my next update of when there was a time where I was like doing really heavy. I was going to this is called Velocity Barbell, and I don't want to say it was like CrossFit, but it was a lot of strength training and lifting heavy. And guys, I was working my butt off, but I was eating uh, like I was a bodybuilder. So when I show you these videos or pictures, you'll see like I was big. Now there was some muscle under there somewhere, but the diet was not on point. And I did use working out as an excuse to eat even more. Let's see. Collagen promotes health, cell rejuvenation, skin, hair, etc. Okay. Um, Now is that derived from animals? Like, is there such thing as vegan collagen? Collagen is extra protein for me. I don't really care about the other benefits. Okay. So that's another form of protein. Collagen promotes healthy cell oh, I clicked on that again. Okay. I don't eat back my calories. The lady at the DEXA scan place said if one eats their calories back, don't go over 80% because trackers aren't accurate and neither extra labels. Okay. Yeah, see, and then when we get into that part, that's when it's easy to overcomplicate things. So I do get why a lot of people don't don't count calories. 12, 11.5 ounce, 30 grams costs $31. Some places 8 for 34. Okay. Okay. So like $2 and some change per. And 30 grams of protein, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, I can see how that would add up, especially if you're having multiple of those a day. Still cheaper than fast food. Jerry's Journey. Yes, I had to go through the MOVE program as well in order to be approved. Thank you for your service. Thank you too, Jerry. I did not realize that your prior service. Yeah, I spent 4 years in the Air Force, and I was an IT girl. Did that as a civilian for 7 years, and then went back in the Army. So, and when I was in the Army, I was a mental health specialist. So, yeah, thank you. Neither are food labels. Okay. Yeah, they're only as accurate as the people putting it in there, right? We can't always rely on that, but that's all I have to go by. Um, so I just have to hope that, at least I feel like what I've been doing is okay. It's been working. Um, but yeah, that's a reason why we shouldn't get too caught up with it. Oops, let's see. No YouTube channel. but I have to figure out how to start one. I'm not too savvy on the internet. LOL. Listen, you get on YouTube and there are so many creators that I'm not sure what your age is, but I know there seems to be a trend, unless these are just videos that I get, of if you're over 40, you should start a YouTube. And there are a lot of channels out there that will, you know, not make it overly complicated, you know, where they're showing you how to do whatever from your phone. Like you don't need a bunch of fancy equipment or anything like that, especially, you know, just sharing your journey. Now, I love this kind of stuff like lightings, and I'm a fan of tech, um, and I'll get better over time. But if you're not like a super tech savvy, that's okay. That's okay. And I saw somebody recently, a 70, gosh, what was the person? 73, had their channel. My mom is 71 and she's on TikTok and creating content. So I know you got this. You can do it. Let's see. I meant a protein. So I would think that a protein drink would be like what I had when I went out of town with the guys, it's not coming to me, with the dates and all that good stuff, bananas, you know, almond butter, using a lot of those whole food ingredients and putting it together, using some almond milk or something like that, or you could do water. Um, I don't mind almond milk in like a shake. I'm not the make a shake with water, unless it was more of like a fruit smoothie type of thing. I would use almond milk or soy milk or any other kind um, of plant-based milk. Let's see. Oh, and by the way, Taisha, I started the compound today. Yes. So so you, I think Jill and Norma, if I'm not mistaken, and I will be doing my workout, and you guys will see it in on Reels if you're on Instagram. But congratulations. How did you feel? Let's see. If you get it delivered on auto ship, you can pay $30 for a pack of 42-gram bottles. Wow. That's not bad. Everybody wants, you know, it's just kind of like subscriptions. Like subscriptions are a thing. Auto ship, you know, everyone wants you to just put a card on file so they can just, and it's convenient for a lot of things. So it is convenient, unless you forget to cancel. So that's on Amazon. Okay. So if you guys didn't see that, I'll put it back up here. Nerd Startup says if you get it delivered on auto ship, you can pay $30 for the pack of 42-gram bottles. And that's on Amazon. Okay, so collagen comes from animals. My sister makes amazing bone broth, and that has extra collagen. I'll tell you guys one of the things that I did to try to you and your sister make all the things. Something I tried to do was a bone broth diet, right? And this I don't know how many years ago this was, but I just knew I could do it, right? Okay, I just had to drink bone broth. I think I lasted a day, and by the next day, I was eating everything. So many things. Let's see, I take the Vitals protein, but they're plant-based ones. I'll have to check into it. And a lot of this will go based off of what they say at my appointment tomorrow. So if the consensus is, hey, you need to be getting some more of, like, let's say I needed to get more protein. Well, I already know I can't eat any more. So then I would definitely look for another source. You know what I mean? Of being able to get that stuff in. And thank you for telling me. I'll have to check that out. And I think I've seen Vitals protein. I've heard people talk about that before. Let's see. U.S. Army, 21 years. Medical laboratory sciences. 58. Okay, so you were a lifer. That's awesome. That's awesome. 58 years old. And are you like retired and enjoying life? I hope so. If not, I hope so. Thank you for your service, for sure. It's nice to see, other vets. Vets have a special place in my heart. I come from a military family as well, so my sisters all went in. So yeah, it's yeah, a special place in my heart. I meant to say I take the Vitals, collagen. Okay, is there something called Vitals protein then, or did I just mix everything in my head? There are plant-based collagens. Okay, I'll have to definitely check into that. Honestly, it was a combo of great and hard. I found myself having to get lighter weights for the second set, infamously known as progressive underloading. I think it's so easy. And I don't know if when I first did the compound and I'm looking at the weights that she was doing, right? And in my mind, she was small, right? So I'm like, oh, I could do those weights. She is strong. And I'm talking about Lift with C for anyone that doesn't know what I'm talking about. She's, and she looks solid, but she's small, so it's very easy to underestimate with the work that she's putting in. But when I saw 55 pounds, I was like, absolutely not. We're not there. We're definitely not. So, oh wow, I didn't know that. Ah, let's see. Butterfly. Hey, Butterfly. Oops. I didn't know you were live. I don't know why I don't get notifications. Notifications for me have been really weird lately. I haven't been getting them from 2.0 Mommy, Downsizing Diva. Like, I even tried turning off notifications and turning it back on in hopes that I would start getting them, but I haven't. I don't get them for Alonda either. So I don't know what's going on with that, but you're here now. And you can always catch the replay because I got the comments working, so it'll make more sense if you go through it. Um, I wasn't getting notifications for a couple of weeks, but seem to be getting them now. Maybe try unsubscribing and resubscribing. I'll have to try that as well. So if you guys see me unsubscribe and resubscribe, just know I'm just trying to get the notifications. Let's see. Thank you. All right. So is there anything else you guys want to cover before we go? We're going to set some SMART goals, and I'll just go over that one more time. We want to make sure that they're specific, measurable, action-oriented, realistic, and time-based. So I will do a prompt asking you guys to, comment with what your SMART goals are. If you, and that's if you're comfortable sharing. If you don't want to, you don't have to. I don't want anybody to feel pressured about any of this, but I think it's very important that we start off with this and your why. So I want to know, make sure that you write your why down, put it on a post-it note, put it in your phone, set reminders. And when you wake up in the morning, look at that. And don't get to where it's just like, okay, my why is I want to be here for my kids. Like, really, like, think about it. Think about it. And then set the tone for your day. Like, okay, these are the goals that I have. These are the steps that I need to take to get there. And break it up into smaller goals. So maybe in all you want to lose 50 pounds. We'll start off with 5. Then 5 more. Or you can start off with 10. Whatever is going to make it. So it's kind of like with the happy scale. You're setting these little goals. So they're like milestones before you get to your final goal. Um, And that way you don't have destination anxiety. Let's see. All right, thanks, nerd. Jerry is retired and enjoying life. That's what I'm talking about. I just watched one of Lift with C's videos this morning. I'm going to try her video out tomorrow morning. Wish me luck. You've got this. And after knowing that you spent 21 years in the service, you can do this. You got this. That nerd, don't feel bad. I moved down to 5 pounds for those lateral raises. They can trigger a headache for some reason. Those lateral raises, I think I started off, I tried to do 10 pounds initially, and I was just like, okay, yeah, we're not gonna, not, like if you just want to do 1 rep, that's different. But if you want to do the amount that you're supposed to do or the time frame, it's definitely okay to do lighter. So it seems like we're doing more reps, lighter weights, and usually heavier weights are less reps. Thank you for your service, Jerry's Journey. Those lateral raises are no joke for sure. When I traveled back from Florida, had frozen gel packs and kept my med cool. Thank God it passed TSA. Yeah, I had mine. I had an ice pack. It's the same kind that when I was getting when I was initially going through Express Scripts and they were mailing my Zepbound, that cooler they send you. I was keeping those freezer packs, so I put them in the fridge or in the freezer, and then whenever I travel, I use it, and then I just throw it away. So I used that when I traveled, and when I got to the room, it was still nice and cold. So, but I packed it with my luggage. I was too afraid to like try to carry it on. Norma says I have the happy scale. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I'm gonna go back and watch all of the videos that I, at least to get the weight part, so that I can enter it into the happy scale and go back to tracking that again. Because I liked being able to show everybody, the graph where, it starts off like kind of super quick, but then it starts to trail out over time. And that's also just so people don't get discouraged. Like, it's always faster in the beginning. Workout was good. So you also did the compound, right, Norma? I just got back last Saturday, all day travel, and was so exhausted. The protein helped regain my strength. Yes, that, and for me, making sure that I stayed hydrated, because the day of travel, I didn't have a gallon, and the day of the wedding, I did not have a gallon of water, and I just felt a little off. Let's see, at Jerry's Journey, you can do it. If you can't do weights, just do body weight for the first week or two. That's how I had to start. There's no shame in it, and you'll be surprised at how quickly you'll progress. That is true. And there are still some days, especially how many sets you end up doing on the compound. If I get to where I'm like, I have maxed out, then I'll do body weight. And it's still something. Um, Yeah, these motions, yeah, adding weights to it is going to make it a little more challenging. But if actually doing that, doing the movement, like doing the squat or whatever exercise, then just go through the motions. That's good advice, Jill. Yeah, same I used. Yep. Leo Hazel, thank you for your service. Thank you. And I'm sure Jerry feels the same. Um, Butterfly, I don't have time to order online. I had it in my purse and covered with a blanket. Okay. Hey. Let's see. Yep, I had to use weighted gloves that I use for cardio because I lift weights at home. Oh, wow. I bet you got a good arm workout. A nice little burn. I didn't want to drive back the hour and a half. I wouldn't have either. I've gone out of town before and forgot my weights, and um, I used some water bottles and did a lot of body weight exercise. But yeah, I mean, I didn't want to drive, and I think it was 2 hours. Didn't want to drive back to get it back home. But the most important thing is you did it. So um, it is 8:20, guys. I think we got everything. Remember, we're setting SMART goals and defining your why. So I'm going to do a prompt on the community tab for anyone that wants to share their SMART goals there, just to have that to go back and reference. And then I'll also have your why listed if you want to share that. So I want to thank everybody for joining me. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next week. And on Sunday's update video, I'll tell you what the topic of next week will be. All right. Just try to keep you coming back, you know? Have a good night.